Hello everybody. Well, hello my subscribers, and I apologize for the delay and lengthy period of time since my last video and update. I have some news where after a lot of long, hard, painful, pretty well heart-wrenching thoughts and decision making, I decided to sell my Flicka. I know I'm doing the same thing, like, what? No. It was a really hard decision, and I came to it because I did not want her to be one of those boats in the marina that ended up not being used, the owner going down every week, 2 weeks, scraping off some barnacles, maybe taking her out for an hour and coming back. Because what happens, and what happened, is life happens while you make other plans. So I had plans to excuse me, do solo sailing and do up and down in the areas around here. A lot of islands and channels and bays and sounds and all kinds of places to go. And I found that I would try to go or make a plan, and with full-time job still and aging parents, and then suddenly an aging parent, and then dealing with my own things in life, and also then trying to fit the boat in, I found that it wasn't working for me, and I also then felt it wasn't working for her, and I did not want to neglect her. I had a nice, cute little tight marina spot that was just great for her, and she was in a visible area so people could see her. She wasn't under a bridge with bird mess landing on her every 5 minutes, which I've had in the past. So I made a very difficult decision, put an ad in the paper, local paper, and I'm not kidding, 15 minutes later I had 2 responses. The first one was the gentleman that ended up buying her. And again, it was very difficult. He'd always wanted a Flicka, and he saw the ad. It was like it was meant to be. And it felt really good going through the discussion with him and negotiation, which again, I'm fair, he's fair, and we had a really good deal, I guess. Me letting her go and letting him take over. So the nice thing about it is she is local still. I actually went to see her. So the day he departed, though, he departed from the dock, which is a very difficult, windy little, over about 50 feet. He had to like turn 4 times, and he just took her out, and he took her to his marina, which is nearby, maybe 20-30 minutes away. And he's known in his marina for the fellow that takes his boat out the most. And I was so thrilled because I knew he would. It's like him and his wife were made for Shimti, and she was made for them. They just seemed to be at home on her right away. And so when he expertly guided her out of the marina, I knew that he was the right fellow for her. Yes, it was a very difficult decision, but I did even go and see her and dropped off a few little things to him that I'd found. And the work he'd done already, I can't remember, he had her hauled out. He wasn't doing anything major, but I think he wanted to check some things and put her up on the hard to do a few items. I don't even think she needed bottom paint. Anyways, I went to see her, and he did some beautiful bright work already, and I kind of had to chuckle because I went, wow, like, she looks amazing. Really, really good. So some people have that craftsman ability, and then some of us think we can have that craftsman ability when we do something. So you saw in some of my videos where I was doing the hatch, refinishing something or doing something over here. Well, he redid a few of those things and they look brand new, and it really, really just, you know, looks amazing. You can tell she's loved even more than I loved her, if that's possible. But yeah, he's done a lot of things on the inside, and also with him and his wife, actually, they, you know, really made it just a little bit different and more functional for them inside. The composting head, I'd gotten a left-hand crank, which I think there were even a few comments on, you know, why don't you change it, or however it was. He did. He actually exchanged the base of the tank, of the head, which I'd never used, thankfully, and he got to trade it from a left hand to a right hand. So it works really well now. And he changed the stove configuration, because sometimes the Wallace stove works for some people, sometimes it doesn't. And for me, she was set up totally for Solo Sailor. And for them, for the two of them, they went with more, I think, like more of a 2-burner or a different style stove. And that's great. What else did they do? They just had different ideas of, you know, where to put stuff. And it just she looks so great. I was so thrilled. And, you know, I know that she's out there doing what she should be, which is what I bought her for. I wanted to go on longer trips, and I never managed to go more than one overnight. And so, you know, I'm really thrilled that she's with someone now. And before I made the decision to sell her, I think it was right about probably one of the reasons that kind of made me helped guide me towards that decision. I went to Mexico in December of 2021. God, that's almost 2 years ago. And at San Carlos Marina, which I knew, I had friends with a boat nearby there, and my sister's been in Mexico for a while, so we went over to the marina. And it's weird, we were loading, backing in my friend's boat, powerboat, into the marina, and I look up and it's like there's a Flicka. I'm not kidding. And I was like, wow, that is what that's what I wanted to do. That's where I wanted my boat to be. And I realized people are doing that and utilizing the boat, using it for what it's meant for. And I felt really bad and a little bit sad that I wasn't able to, just where I am in life. But I realized, okay, I need to take care of it for her so she can go and sail and be her little offshore pocket ship. And that's what I did pretty well. I believe it was almost right when I got back. I took care of that. But it was pretty neat being down there and seeing the Flicka right there at the end of the dock, and I waving at the people. And, I have a Flicka too, and they probably thought I was a lunatic, you know, like this girl standing on the boat. And we were heading out actually to drop my late father's ashes in the Sea of Cortez. He loved Mexico a lot, so it was kind of really neat to be out there in a cool, neat day, to see the marina, to see a Flicka. And, you know, help move on to a difficult decision in our lives, because I know people say one of the best days of boating is when they buy a boat, and then the most exciting day is when they sell it. And that's true, actually. I was excited to sell her, to know that it wasn't just going to some, you know, a boat like her wouldn't really go to just someone partying on her, because there's not the room. So, but yeah, it was a really interesting when you see it and how everybody actually gets to utilize their boats. That's what I wanted it for her. So that's where I am today, and I wanted to update everybody, because I really think it's neat how when you share something, someone else is also knowing exactly what you're talking about. I know that I learned a lot having the little boat, and with the outboard, I'm still looking at boats. It's one thing you can't get out of that habit, right? And they outboard is what she had, and they have models with the inboard, of course. And I probably would go for the inboard next time, only because part of it is the outboard. Oh yeah, it's easy to take care of, it's easy to do. Well, I can't even lift it because it weighs as much as I do. And I could barely, to get the thing down into the water, I had to, luckily it was a really good attachment to the boat, the way it was made. It was a very heavy duty bracket. And I had to put my foot on it, like lean over the boat, put my foot down while kind of doing the lever and configuration to get it down, because I couldn't just push it down, just not strong enough. And also too, with the things I wanted to do, like run a little power, some 12 volt thing, you actually could with the outboard. The outboard was really handy for that. But I wanted a bit more ability to utilize as well an engine. Even though I had the storage underneath the cockpit for that, it also makes it just a little bit different in weight balance. And it makes it a little bit different to steer when you've got an outboard with that also acts like another rudder. And I tell you, if something is off with the outboard and you got the rudder going this way and the outboard that way, physics change, and it's like you're trying to back out of the marina, and you're like, okay, the tiller, rudders and tiller, it's not working at all anymore, something happened. I turned it one way and she didn't go that other way she was supposed to. It was like I had to literally, for a second, I think I mentioned this in one of the videos, I thought I forgot how to steer a boat for some reason right at that moment. Oh my God, that was one of the ones where you back out and something horribly starts to go wrong. Thank God my sister was still on the dock, and I said, I'm coming back in. That's how bad it was. It was blowing like 25 knots in the marina. It was a weird day. We ended up getting out of there and moving her to another slip is what we were trying to do. But yeah, the outboard and then trying to configure that and do the tiller, and yeah, it was a little bit so but yeah, I really loved her, and I am looking at other boats. My friend of mine actually bought one down in Seattle recently, so that was kind of neat, because you just keep being in touch with people that have Flickas. So anyways, I thought I'll end it here. I've got a lot of things to sort of add on to it that I can, I'd like to share, in having the boat, and things I did, things I learned.